this video, we're going to be looking at inserting graphs into our Excel worksheet. There were two videos. In this first one, I'm going to be looking at simple column graphs, and in the second video, I'm going to be looking at a scatter plot. So first of all, I'm going to start off by actually adding some more variables to our data set here. So I'm going to start off by selecting all of the countries. It's important that you select all of the countries. If you only select one, you'll only pick up the particular data, the data value for that particular country. So I'm going to choose two additional variables. The first is agricultural land, which is right at the top here, and then I'm also going to look at the percentage of forestry. Just need to find that there. It's probably under, yeah, it's under F, forested areas. So let's look at the percentage of forested areas. So just going to put my column labels at the top of these two data. So that's percentage agricultural land and percentage forested areas. And we're just going to create a very simple chart for these to display these two data series. So you find charts on the Insert menu. So if we go to Inserts, you will see this central box here on the ribbon for charts. See, it's all grayed out at the moment, and that's because I've got that particular cell. I'm still inputting into that particular cell, so I just hit on Enter to return that, and now you can see that you can see the chart, and you can see the options of all of the different charts that you can input. So we're just going to start off with a very simple 2D column chart, and I'd recommend that for the presentation of most data, 2D column charts are the best to use. So we're just going to start off with a 2D column chart. As you can see, I haven't actually told Excel what data I want to use, but it's already made a guess. It's actually selected the entirety of the worksheet that I have open. I actually don't want to be looking at all of those variables, so I'm going to first of all choose the Select Data tab, and that's going to allow me to actually specify the data that I want. Just start off by explaining a little bit more about kind of the other features in this Select Data Source dialog box. You see the chart data range here. That's showing the sheet 1, which we haven't looked at using sheet references, but if you have more complex worksheets with multiple sheets, then you can reference what sheet it's on. So that's sheet 1, and you can see that it's going from cell B1 to cell J16. So it's actually already made a very sensible guess about the data range, so I don't have to make any changes there. If Excel hasn't made such a sensible guess about the data change, it might be that you have to change that chart data range. However, you can see in this initial chart, it's going to show all of the data that I have in my worksheet. So I just want to remove these first ones because I don't want to be having those, so I just remove all of those. So you can now see that we've got percentage agricultural land, percentage forested areas, and you can see that the horizontal axis, Excel will always take the first column of data here. So it's taken the country names, and that's obviously what I want for my horizontal category axis, so I don't have to make any changes there. So I can click on OK. And now you can see I have a chart. I have a very simple bar chart. I'm just going to move that so it's no longer over my worksheet. You can have charts on their own on their own worksheet, so you can have this on a separate tab down here. I often find it easier though just to have the chart next to the data that I'm making the graph of. And there isn't a huge amount of changes that you have to make to this particular chart. It's relatively kind of sensible, as both of my data points are percentages. They're both on comparable data. They're both on comparable ranges, so you can see that the y-axis here, that's a percentage, and you can see it goes from 0 to 90 because we don't really have many variables up to 100, so I can leave it like that. I'm happy about that. You can see that an Excel, one of the Excel kind of standard standard characteristics that Excel always puts in are these lines here, these horizontal lines, these horizontal grid lines. Generally, I'd recommend that can make your graph a little bit confusing. I guess the logic behind it is it's easy to read off what an actual data point is, but it can also make your graph look a little bit fussy. So I might want to get rid of those grid lines. You can see that it's missing a chart title, so I am going to have to tell Excel what the chart title is. But it does have a sensible legend here. We've got percentage agricultural land and percentage forested areas. So I can see that agricultural land is in blue and forest areas is in brown. I maybe want to, for aesthetic reasons, make some changes to those colours. So got to think about maybe if I want to change some of the features here. So to change features, I'm just going to go to the chart design. You see I'm now on the chart design menu here, and I've got the ribbon of all of the different chart designs, and I'm just going to click on add chart elements. I think I'm going to take off my primary horizontal grid lines. I think that looks a little bit cleaner, so I've clicked those off. What I do need to do is add a chart title, so I'm going to click on chart title, and I can see I can have that above chart there, and now I'm in the chart title. I can make a change. I can make a change there, so it's percentage of agricultural and forested land by country. So that's a title, and there you go. I've got my title there, and that's probably okay for a simple bar graph. So Excel calls it a column graph. If you wanted to make changes to the colours, all you need to do, if I just hover over, say I want agricultural land to be in green, I'm just going to hover over that dark blue there and double click it, so that I've now you see this new dialog box has been opened here for format data series, and what I can do is if I just click on the fill there, that little bucket there is indicating it's the fill. I want to click on fill, and then I can change the color. I can maybe turn that into a green. So that means I've now got a green for forested